It is a spectacular day in Tempe, Arizona, as the Oakland Raiders take on the Arizona Cardinals in the AFC West. Denver plays tonight against the Colts. The Chargers just got drilled in Miami. The Chiefs play right now in Seattle. And in the NFC West, the Cardinals behind the 49ers and the Rams. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan with Randy Cross. Oakland has won 2 consecutive games. The question begs, are they back?
I think they're back, but Bill Callahan calls games like this a setup game, and rightfully so. But he's got veterans to keep his team focused. Plus, hey, the Arizona Cardinals beat them last year in Oakland by a field goal in overtime.
That's right. Great game. Now let's talk about the Cardinals, who have lost 3, make it 4 straight games.
Well, Thomas Jones, former first-round number 1 draft pick at running back. Well, he breaks his hand mysteriously Friday night. That means Marcel Shipp starts at running back. Marcel, they're going to feed you. They got to run it. Just keep gaining the field. And Dwayne Starks, free agent signee from Baltimore. You're going to have to see a lot of Jerry Rice, a lot of Tim Brown. Get your track shoes on, baby.
The third member of our crew is on the sideline. That's Beasley Reese.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Watch number 81, Frank Sanders, 8th-year man out of Auburn, veteran wide receiver for the Cardinals. Now, he'll pull double duty today. He's a player and he's a coach. Let me explain. It's Frank, a second-year man, and 3 rookies at a banged-up wide receiver position. So Frank will get the formation from Jake Plummer as soon as possible so that he can remind the youngsters where to line up and perhaps even their responsibilities on a given play. So the inexperience at the wide receiver position is a key back upstairs.
All right, Beasley, thank you very much. A pretty good crowd here, but Randy, as you might expect, with a team struggling like the Cardinals and a team thriving like the Raiders, there is a Raider feeling inside the stadium today.
Well, and not only that, there's a wonderful feeling. Look at the weather, 75 degrees. Hi, this is perfect, and this is the fastest grass track surface in the NFL. So this really plays into the hands of the Raiders, who have developed into a passing / speed type football team.
Sebastian Janikowski will kick off for Oakland, and deep back is a player who was on the roster, put on last night, number 11, Kevin Casper. With the injury to Jones, they pick up Casper, who earlier this week was cut by Seattle. You may recall him with the Denver Broncos before that.
The only thing he's done for Arizona Cardinals is pass a physical. What's that tell you?
And the kickoff by Janikowski. We are underway in the Valley of the Sun. Casper looking up into the sun at the 5-yard line. And then he was tripped up and brought down on the play by reserve tight end Marcus Williams. A return of 16 yards. Jake Plummer is the quarterback, throwing at 54%. This line will block for him Shelton, Ken, Starkey, Roundtree, and Davis.
Leonard Davis, the right tackle, 75, is the one to watch here.
In the backfield, Marcel Shipp with Joel Makovicka, Frank Sanders, and McAdley, and the tight end Freddie Jones, the ex-San Diego Charger.
Every wide receiver at St. besides Sanders that they had in training camp is currently either on injured reserve or on the street. They got more wide receivers wearing single or double-digit team numbers than do 80s.
It's Plummer at his own 22 and facing first down and 10. He's got Bush, the tie in the backfield, and Marcel Shipp gets the call and finds a hole and busts into the secondary before he is brought down by Derek Gibson. It's a 15-yard carry up to the 37-yard line. Now the defensive line for the Raiders: Armstrong, Adams, and DeLawrence Grant.
That was right at the strength of that line, right at Sam Adams and John Perella.
Smith will start in the middle for Harris. Romanowski on one side and Barton on the other. In the secondary, the corners Woodson and James. The secondary with the safeties Woodson and Gibson. Down in 10, 37-yard line. Shipp again, blocked by Joel Makovicka. Then DeLawrence Grant and Trace Armstrong will wrestle him down with no gain on the play. In fact, maybe a half-yard loss inside the 37-yard line.
I mentioned that Bill Callahan refers to these kind of games as setup games for the Oakland Raiders, and rightfully so. I mean, here's a team coming off a couple of strong wins against Denver and New England, who's in a division where every single win's going to be vital here in the last month and a half of the season. And realistically, how do you concentrate and give the Cardinals your undivided attention and say, this is a great team? Because, folks, this is not a great football team in Arizona.
Second down and 10 inside the 37-yard line. Plummer gets a block from Shelton. Up in the pocket, chased by Adams, dives ahead and gets just beyond the 37 for a gain of 1 near the 38. Not much there for Jake Plummer. And how do you assess Mr. Plummer in his 6th NFL season?
Well, you know, he's at the end of his contract. He hasn't been offered a new one here in Arizona, and part of it's from performance. I think part of it, how do you judge a guy that doesn't have really healthy wide receivers, hasn't had his offensive line together, doesn't have his regular #1 running back running like a #1 running back? What you're going to see out of Jake today is, just watch that last play. He looked kind of flustered. Jake has to be patient. He can't be flustered. He's just got to take the little things and not try to force big ones.
3rd down and 9. Ship in the backfield in the shotgun. That's Frank Sanders in motion. And good time for Plummer. Throws right on the money, and it's dropped at midfield. He had his receiver, and that's the young rookie out of Alabama, Jason McAdley. So they got a punt on their first possession. He's got a bad bicep, and that was thrown kind of in that area.
Now you can see that on his right arm. There's a patch of white. That's like an old knee pad just kind of sitting on there, protecting his bicep. And that looked exactly where that pass hit him, and he couldn't hold on.
Scott Player will punt. And deep back will be Charles Woodson inside the 15-yard line for the Oakland Raiders. Very little breeze inside Sun Devil Stadium this afternoon. And Woodson's going to run it from the 23. And brought down the play by the guy that centered the ball, number 48, Nathan Hodel. A 38-yard punt with a 4-yard return. McAdley, had he caught the ball, would have kept the Cardinals alive. We're back in Tempe, Arizona. Arizona just punted to the Raiders, who have it for the first time. You're looking at one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, #1 in yards, #3 rated Rich Gannon. On the 28, he's got it 1st down and 10. With an empty backfield to start things offensively for the Raiders. And Gannon has it knocked down in the middle by the lineman Fred Wakefield, who is a free agent a couple years ago out of Illinois. On the line, Sims, Collins, Robbins, Middleton, and Lincoln Kennedy.
2 years ago, the best run blocking line in the league. Suddenly now, 2 years later, the best pass blocking line in the league.
And here's who they block for: Charlie Garner and John Ritchie, with Rice and Brown the receivers, and Roland Williams the tight. 2nd down and 10. The Raiders still at the 28. Again, the empty backfield for Gannon. With time and outside of the tight end, Doug Jolly, who is knocked out of bounds by Ray Thompson. It's a gain of 5, and he's up to the 33. Jolly has been a favorite receiver the last 2 weeks for Gannon. On the Cardinal defensive line, Wakefield, Davis, Tanner, and Vandenbosch.
As a group, the worst pass rushing line, I think, in the NFL.
Thompson, McKinnon, and Woods are the linebackers, and in the secondary, what you think is a tough one today, Starks and Barrett with Lassiter and Wilson. I think the Raiders will attack that secondary this afternoon.
Absolutely. We're going to see a lot of blitzes from the linebackers, a lot of blitzes from the safeties, especially if Rich Gannon keeps giving them an empty look.
Bill Carollo is our referee. And suddenly comes over to with Dave McGinnis, who is the 2nd-year full-time coach with the Arizona Cardinals.
Sides. If one side doesn't have it, that means the Raiders will have to give theirs up, and then we're going just to hand signals, which you can still kind of hear it.
Garner is in the backfield. It's 3rd down and 5. The Raiders are at their own 33. Tim Brown is in motion to watch for Brown today on a crossing pattern like right here. And Gannon throws to Brown, incomplete, covered by Wilson, and the Raiders have got a punt.
And Tim Brown needs 8 receptions to get to 1,000 receptions on his career and join his teammate Jerry Rice in that 1,000 reception club. And this is what the Raiders do well, is they cross these patterns, and it's something that the Arizona Cardinals have been looking at all week. It's a puzzle I'm not sure many teams can solve.
Shane Leckler will punt. He is number 5 in the NFL, and deep back is Arnold Jackson. And Jackson will take it and scamper out of bounds near the 19-yard line, and mark him out to 21. 58-yard punt by Leckler, a 12-yard return, and we're scoreless in Tempe. Arizona Cardinals last week lost in Philadelphia 38-14. Horrible Arizona tackling. The Raiders last week won their 2nd consecutive game. Gannon just under 300 yards passing, beating the champion New England Patriots 27-20.
And Jake Plummer and the Cardinals showed us early, giving a pretty good dose of shit. They've got to run their back a lot against this defense. Keep Gannon off the field on the other side.
That's SHIPP from the 21. A pitch out. No, a knocked away ball that bobbles. It's loose and recovered by DeLawrence Grant. At the Cardinal 20 to make it the 12-yard line. And the first turnover of the day, and Grant gobbles it up for the Raiders.
What you're about to see here is so dumb, Dumb people think it's dumb. I mean, Jake Plummer is a creative quarterback. Jake Plummer makes things happen. Jake Plummer had a severe mental cramp. Because why you do that? I mean, there's no defense doing. That's literally throwing the ball to the other team. That is inexcusable. And you've just set up the best offense in the NFL with the hottest quarterback in an empty backfield with a quick passing situation into the end zone.
Now they shift Ritchie and Garner in the backfield. 13-yard line. First down and 10 after the fumble. Charlie Garner. Great block from Ritchie. A block from Rice. And a Raider touchdown, but a flag has been thrown.
Maybe too good a block from Jerry Rice. Jerry's been one of the best blocking wide receivers for a long time in this league.
You're right, Randy. It's against the Raiders, wiping out the touchdown.
80. Offense during the run. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Yeah, that's just sort of the deal you're going to have to buy when you've got a wide receiver like Jerry, like Tim Brown, like the guys in Denver. You're going to have those holding penalties occasionally. And when a defensive back is being blocked and tries to spin out and he can't suddenly move, it's not hard for an official to figure out that somebody's grabbing him.
So they move it back to the 15-yard line. Garner stays in the game. And this possession set up with a fumble by Jake Plummer. It is a spot foul. So that's why it goes from the 13 back to the 15 where it's 1st and 12. And get into the air and short. Going underneath to Jerry Rice. A non-interception. He has now caught a pass in 252 consecutive games. That's an NFL record, and he's down to the Arizona 6.
Talk about a contrast in how's your month been. A month ago, Arizona is playing San Francisco in San Francisco for the NFC West lead. A month later, they're playing the Raiders with a 4-game losing streak, and they're going to face a Jerry Rice and a Rich Gannon offense that's going to do that all day.
2nd down, 3 from the 6. Gannon with great time. Look at the time he's got to throw. And he finds Gardner at the 2. And he's belted out of bounds by Reinhardt. And that should be good for a first down with the gain of 5. 1st and goal, Raiders at the Cardinal 1.
So far, we've seen the reason that people have so much respect for Charlie Garner. With a quick run that was called back, now he starts blocking. They off into the backfield. The offensive line gives him all that time. Garner, an excellent runner who runs a lot bigger than his size would tell you, and one of the best receiving backs in the league out of the backfield.
Zach Crockett in the game. 1st and goal at the 1. Crockett scored twice last week. Tries to corkscrew his way in here, but he is stopped by Ray Thompson. Flag is down at the 7.
Bill Callahan and the Raiders, it's something they normally don't see, is a penalty not called on them.
Crockett in the backfield, 1st down and goal, and he does not get it down at about the 1 with a nice defensive stop by leading tackler Ronald McKinnon. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
Hey, Ronald McKinnon is out of the Sam Mills style of linebacker. They say 6 foot, I say 5'10", but watch him meet right in the hole. You want to talk about how do you tackle in this situation? If you're Ron McKinnon, that's how you tackle. Young guys out there, watch this linebacker. He can make a guy go down quick.
2nd down and goal at the 1. Crockett again stuffed. That time coming through was Michael, who was off the practice squad a year ago, and that entire line could not shove the Cardinals away.
I'd watch out for Ritchie coming out of the backfield as a receiver here.
2nd and goal at the 2. You got it, Ritchie. But they go beyond him to Jolly. Incomplete, flags all over the field. Almost stopped the play in mid-motion.
Prior to the snap, ball starts. Number 74, offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Match double digits.
Garner's back in. 3rd and goal at the 7. 3 receivers deployed. Here comes the blitz by Wakefield and a touchdown reception made by Jerry Porter. 7-yard strike. And the Raiders cash in on the Jake Plummer fumble.
Nice call by Rich Gannon, and audible because of the blitz. Here's Porter at the top of the screen, and he's just going to come quick in. Watch the blitz come after Gannon. 1, 2, 3, bang, timing, ball out, ball in the air, ball in the hands of Jerry Porter.
And Janikowski's extra point put up a 7-yard touchdown pass. Jerry Porter having a career year, his 7th touchdown reception of the season.
In 2 years, 20 catches, no touchdowns. Now 28 catches, 7 touchdowns.
Not bad. Just lassoed a Rich Gannon touchdown pass for Gannon, his 20th toss through the air to the end zone this season. And it's 7-0 Raiders on a Jake Plummer fumble, which sets up that Raiders score. Now Janikowski with the teed up on the 30-yard line, and Kevin Casper is back inside the 5. He'll take it at the 2. And the ex-Bronco is tripped up beautifully on the play, coming through Clarence Love. The San Francisco 49ers have played both these teams. Here's their coach, Steve Mariucci. Arizona's turned it over.
So far, so bad.
Yeah.
Jake got to start with hanging on to the ball.
17-yard line, 1st and 10. And Plummer quickly to the side, incomplete, looking for Frank Sanders, his leading receiver. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And quarterbacks and backups and new guys are doing. If you get rid of him, you better be careful.
2nd down and 10. Marcel Shipp finally brought down by Eric Barton, but he wasn't stopping. The UMass running back picks up 8 yards. He's up near the 24-yard line. This kid has kind of come out of no place. Made the team as a rookie free agent last year.
He can bring a lot of body down low to the ground.
3rd down and 2, shy of the 25. Tight end Freddie Jones on the move, the fake to Shipp. And here comes Romanowski and Trace Armstrong chasing the quarterback, and out of bounds it goes, and the pressure was applied, and Romanowski along with Trace Armstrong providing the coverage, and it is a 0 for 3 start for Jake Plummer, and another punt coming up for the Cardinals.
That's pretty.
Charles Woodson back inside the 30. Scott Player is averaging 43 yards a punt this season to boot it away. 2nd return for Woodson. And chased by Justin Lucas. Makes a couple tackles and finally belted off his horse by Kevin Casper. Lost 2 yards on the return after the 51-yard punt by Scott Player. We got a timeout. Did you agree with 49er coach Steve Mariucci's appraisal of these two teams, Randy?
Well, you only have to look at the first quarter so far in this football game is to say how great that theory is. I mean, his team had the ball for 15 minutes when they faced the Raiders, but they never got the ball back at the end of the game.
After the Cardinal punt from the 23, 1st and 10 for Rich Gannon. And Charlie Garner. Nice block by Richie. And a block by Rice. And then finally got tangled up with Adrian Wilson on the side up to the 32-yard line, picking up 9.
If you're Charlie Garner, you've got to be very, very much, besides a real talented running back, very much a team guy for the Oakland Raiders, because Charlie Garner is a running back that is going to face a linebacker like McKinnon, 57. He's supposed to run with him, flow to flow. McKinnon can't stay with him flow to flow. Middleton was able to get out there and block him, but Garner's got to be very unselfish, because he's going to have to run, he's going to have to catch passes, he's going to have to pass block, he's going to have to live with the fact that he can be a featured run the ball a whole bunch running back.
2nd down and 1 from the 32. Wheatley in the game, but the handoff goes to Garner, and he barrels over the 34 to the 35, picking up 3, and has another 1st down for the Oakland Raiders with an early Chiefs lead in Seattle.
Schottenheimer and the Chargers are going to get revitalized, and they're going to get home field advantage.
Garner is in, 35-yard line, 1st and 10 for Gannon. There's a flag.
That it is.
Somebody moved.
Number 88 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Touchdown.
The offensive line of Oakland is not off to a great start.
1st and 15 from the 30 with the penalty in tow. Gannon outside. Second catch today by the tight end Jolly. Grabbed by Justin Lucas and brought down after a 4 up to the 34. Well, the San Diego Chargers got smashed today. Kansas City at 5-5. Second down and 11 at the 34. Fake to Garner. Great time for Gannon. Sidearm pass caught by Charlie Garner. Has a first down as he lunges into Dwayne Starks. And a gain will take it to the 48-yard line and pick up a 14 yards.
Well, right now, Adrian Wilson, number 24, the strong safety, has got to say, what else can I do to Rich Gannon to take away Charlie Garner? He was all over Charlie Garner coverage-wise, and Gannon is a guy that can deliver the ball from more angles. He's kind of like a combination of a straight over the top Juan Marichal and Ken Colby coming from underneath. I mean, he brings it from everywhere, and there was a great example.
Wheatley is in the game. Garner just caught his 60th pass of the season. This is Tyrone Wheatley. High stepping his way into the secondary and down near the 46-yard line, a gain of 6. When you came into today, Randy, what did you think were the offensive priorities for the Raiders?
A little bit of what you're seeing. I think Bill Callahan knows full well that as we head into December and January playoffs down the road, you're going to have the versatility you're seeing in this offense. You're going to have to be able to throw the ball, and goodness knows they like to do that. But you better have Garner out of the backfield with the quick runs, and you better have the power of a Wheatley at your availability.
Wheatley remains. Second down and 4 from the 46. Now Tyrone's in motion out of the backfield. Ritchie remains to block, which he does, but they'll come up the middle, and Bannon Tanner comes up and makes the stop. Almost untouched. He throws Gannon for a loss of 7 on the play. Tanner's 5 years out of Oklahoma. Miami Dolphins third down and 11, back to the 47. Wheatley in the backfield. Gannon got a nice block from Lincoln Kennedy, which buys him that kind of time. He's got to get to the 42, and downfield he throws incomplete for Jerry Rice. Covered on the play by Kiwami Lassiter. And the Raiders got a punt for a second time in 3 possessions.
The Arizona Cardinals got to figure out a way to get some pressure on Rich Gannon.
Leckler to punt. 5'8" Arnold Jackson. They'll let it bounce and back of him, and wisely so into the end zone. 53-yard punt by the Pro Bowler Shane Leckler. And a timeout. Reporter. After the Raider punt, Cardinals at the 20 on the touchback, 1st and 10. Marcel Schick. Davis trying to block, and then he is thrown down on the play by Travian Smith. And a gain of about 3.5 on the play.
So Gannon and company can't be on the field.
Outside the 23, second down and 7. The fake to Ship. They come up the middle with Perella. The pass intercepted on the play by Barton. The second turnover for the Cardinals. The first interception thrown by Plummer today. And his 6th interception he has thrown in the last 4 weeks.
Well, you got to say this. He hit his man right in the chest. But his man is not number 50, Eric Barton. 2 turnovers in this game so far for Arizona, and both of them are squarely in the hands of Jake Plummer. A very poor desperation pitch was a fumble. And now this pass right here, Eric Barton did nothing fancy. He dropped straight back into that zone, and Jake Plummer threw the ball right at him. That is another inexcusable turnover for the Cardinals quarterback.
Cardinals came in -3. Now they're -5 for the season. And the Raiders trying to cash in from the 33-yard line. Barton, by the way, makes his first interception of the season. And Gannon's got in the backfield, the fake to him, and it's an end around to Tim Brown, being chased by Bangenbosch and shoved out of bounds by Lassiter at about the 30 after a gain of 3. So the Cardinals have turned it over twice, and they've punted the other 2 times.
Rich Gannon right now has a solid grasp of his attack and plan, and he's being a patient quarterback.
Randy Jordan is in, second down and 7. Jordan in motion out of the backfield from the Cardinal 30. Charlie Garner. Oh, nice block by Lincoln Kennedy. And there's Gardner. Inside the 10 to the 9. Brought down by Wendell Bryant. 21-yard gallop. It's 1st and goal Raiders. 4 carries and 41 yards for Garner.
Watch the blocking in the center of the offense for the Raiders right here. And Charlie Garner just basically draws a dead beat on our umpire and runs right straight through the hole. That's the kind of run blocking this Oakland Raider football team needs to see. Trustman, the coordinator for the Raiders, has to love it.
First and goal at the 8. Charlie Garner dancing around a Richie block and is in, diving for another Raider touchdown.
When we talked to Charlie Garner last night, we mentioned last time we'd seen the Raiders was up in Buffalo, where he put on kind of a personal highlight reel. He says, well, hopefully you guys will be the difference. And I don't know, maybe we are, because he's having another one of those games, catching the ball, blocking for Rich Gannon, and then just flat making for the corner. You know, when you play out in the backyard at the park, where you go? I'm going for the flag. I'm going to run as fast as I can to the corner. That's exactly what Garner did. Nothing fancy.
Garner has his first rushing touchdown in 3 games. And Janikowski's extra point is through. And 2 Cardinal turnovers have equaled 14 Raider points.
You might as well have Jake Plummer just put a nice big red bow around these 14 points, because he gave both touchdowns to the Raiders.
Gannon, a touchdown run seconds ago by Charlie Garner. 14-0. 2 Arizona turnovers, giving the Raiders outstanding position deep in Arizona territory. So Kevin Casper deep back. He's just a couple feet inside the end zone because Janikowski's got a cannon. And that's about the right place, about deep, and Casper will bring it out. Slipping by one tackler after another. Finally, Zach Crockett, along with Marcus Williams, bring him down after a 23-yard return up near the 21-yard line into the sideline, and Beasley Reese.
Being plucky. Is that kind of a play off the feather thing with the Cardinals and the Birds? And that's good.
That's why he's where he is. He's a network guy at the 21-yard line. 1st and 10. Marcel Shipp got a block on the play from Bush. Running into the secondary once again. Finally hit by Derek Gibson and brought down after a 17-yard gain up to the 37.
2, find Frank Sanders. And if they're rotating to him, find the other guy.
38-yard line. 1st and 10. Shipp again. Breaks a tackle. And in the secondary, Rod Woodson is chasing him down this time and brings him out of bounds at the 36-yard line. That is a run of 26 yards.
It's hard to decide if getting drafted or being signed, I should say, by the Arizona Cardinals is a bigger break, or Thomas Jones breaking his hand is the bigger break for this running back. Marcel Shipp is having a great opportunity against one of the better football teams in the league, and the Raiders are showing a lot of people what he can do. And right now, you got to believe those numbers he put up in college were just kind of a preview of what this kid can do. Why not feed him? See if you got that kind of running back, because they haven't had a running back like this, look like this, since Garrison Hurst before he hurt his knee here in Arizona.
First quarter has come to a close. Raiders have scored through the air and on the ground. They've won 2 straight games coming into today. And the Raiders leave the first quarter here in Tempe with a 14-0 lead over Arizona. Turnovers, and the Raiders have capitalized both times. 14-0 as we go to the second quarter with Randy Cross and Beasley Reese. Kevin Harlan from Tempe.
Not hard to figure out. Keep the factor back as Shipp, and not let that factor back be Jake Plummer, because he's made the mistakes today.
On 36, it's 1st down and 10. Marcel Shipp. And tripped up right there on the defensive line. Perella got him. Gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8 from the 34. And coming up, the next till halftime report with Jim, Dion, Dan, and 4. Broncos play tonight. They're 7-3. San Diego has lost already today in Miami. 2nd down and 8 from the 34. Plummer. Here comes Romanowski. Moving up is Plummer. Fires a pass. Downfield by Sanders. Stiff arms his way into James. And he's inside the 5 at the 3. A 31-yard strike. 1st and goal to go. The Arizona Cardinals.
This is what Jake Plummer needs to get going. You get the running back going with Shipp, and then you get your receiver going down the field, Frank Sanders. Remember we talked about we got to figure out what they're doing? Well, what they're doing here is they're manning up on Frank Sanders. Torrey James can't stay with him. Frank Sanders, nice job and a great job by the Arizona Cardinals line of giving Jake Plummer that time so Frank Sanders can move all 215 pounds on down the field for that pass. Sanders didn't catch a pass last week in Philadelphia. 1st down and goal at the 3. And a timeout taken by the Cardinals. They now have 2 left. And we'll go to the sideline and talk things over
in scoring position, but down by 2 touchdowns. Randy Krause, you've got your eye on Leonard Davis at right tackle.
6'6", 380 pounds, and he can create a hole on one side of the line all by himself.
It's first and goal at the 3. Marcel Shipp easily slicing into the end zone for a touchdown.
That hole was right behind Pete Kendall, the left guard, and Jason Starkey starting at center for Mike Grudaduria. Look at the whole lineup right there. TJ or LJ Shelton gets a nice block, sort of grabbing Trace Armstrong and sucking him inside with him. That opened up that hole.
Marcel Shipp scores his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. And the kid who made it here is a rookie free agent a season ago. Bill Gramatica with the extra point. And the Cardinals have cut the Raider lead in half.
I want to show you the block I was talking about. Watch right here. The block starts. Everybody's pulled in. That was a hold. But you know what it is? It's actually 6 points.
And they needed it. Paper leading up to the game, Jake Plummer said he has respect for Charlie Woodson at one corner, but at the other corner he really didn't respect that much Torrey James. Moments ago he just beat James with Frank Sanders on a 31-yard pass that sets up that touchdown. Kickoff by Gramatica. Marcus Knight at the line for the Oakland Raiders. And he's got a block ahead from Ritchie. And finally stopped from behind by LeVar Fisher. That is a 46-yard return. And he takes the ball to about the 36-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. That was some nice locker room fodder that Plummer provided the Raiders. But sure enough, he proved him wrong right there.
Well, I think the best locker room fodder the Cardinals provided the Raiders was beating them last year in overtime with that field goal.
Right.
I mean, normally you come into a game like this, you'd be real worried about your offense not being focused, your offense not being patient, your defense not paying attention. The game last year, I think, kept everybody in silver and black's attention.
46-yard line, 1st and 10. Good block by Sims. Time for Gannon again to Jolly. That's the young tight end out of BYU, a 2nd-round pick. His 3rd reception of the day, 16-yard pickup to the Cardinal 38 in a 1st down.
And really what has been good for Jolly is Williams, the normal tight end they got from St. Louis, has been out with a little injury. So Jolly's been able to play more, and he's been able to show people that I'm not a tight end that catches it and falls down. What you're always looking for in this league is a tight end that can catch it and run with it.
It is a 1st down at the Cardinal 38. And Charlie Garner tries to pick and poke his way, and Woods with the stop after a gain of 2. That puts the ball at the 36-yard line. So we put the ball into the hands of Jim Nantz in New York. Seattle came down here a couple games ago and won against the Cardinals. 2nd down and 8 from the 36. Here they come. The blitz was on from the secondary, and Adrian Wilson, who is breathing down the back of quarterback Rich Gannon. It'll be 3rd and 8 on the incomplete pass.
Man, that was plenty of time, though, for a Raider offense to really get off a play. That was a nice job by Dave McGinnis's defense of attacking, bringing Wilson late the way he did. But generally speaking, if you're going to give Rich Gannon anything over about 2.5 seconds, you're going to be giving up a big play. And, you know, since Tim Brown dropped that first pass, we haven't seen anything going to number 81.
3rd down and 8, 36-yard line. Wheatley in the backfield. Brown on the top of your screen. What's Gannon got up his sleeve? Looking for Brown. And the ball deflected, incomplete. Rice and Brown were in the vicinity. I don't know if the ball, because it was deflected, was going to Rice, or because it was going long, it was going to Brown.
No, it was Kwame Lassiter got in the way. The ball was going to go to Jerry Rice. You see Jerry Porter in the front. He's trying to do a little pick action. Jerry Rice coming up right behind Tim Brown, but Kwame Lassiter, 42, the free safety, gets in there and ruins it. There's Lassiter right there batting that ball, and it's kind of play the Arizona Cardinals need. What they need is to catch that pass, not knock it down. They need an interception and turnover quick.
Out of field goal range, we think, for Janikowski. Thus, they're going to punt it. Here's Leckler trying to place it inside the 10. And off the fingertips and out of bounds of Dorsett. That's Anthony said, a fine special teams performer, out of bounds at the 4 on a 32-yard well-placed punt. Andy Cross and Beasley reached Kevin Harlan. Arizona with a 7-point deficit right now. Raiders got 2 early Arizona turnovers, and thus they got their 14 points.
This is the worst Cardinal field position. And last drive, Jake Plummer, 8 runs, 2 passes.
Raider defense digs in from the 4-yard line. Marcel Shipp on first down and 10. Climbs over a couple defenders. And is stopped as he lunges toward the 10. And picks up 7 on the play. Varela was there. Log on to NFL.com and help pick the NFL's all-star lineup. Cast your vote for the 2003 Pro Bowl squads now. Only at NFL.com or on AOL. Enter keyword NFL.com. Hey, what do you think of the Raider defense over the last 2 games?
They're getting better. I just think that they're going to be attacked just like Arizona attacked them last drive, and like right here in the last play, people will go right at them, pound them.
Second down, long 3, outside the 9. Collection by Plummer. Here comes Armstrong. The pass is outside to Joel Makovicka, who is brought down by Travion Smith. He's got the first down. There was a club on the hit. It could be a penalty flag on the Raiders. It's an 11-yard gain. He's up near the 20-yard line.
And Matt, remember patience. There's another word that goes along with that, that also starts in P, and poise. The Raiders love the word poise in a lot of their PR and their sales stuff, but you got to have poise in these situations and not get those kind of chops.
So with the penalty, push it up to the 35, where it's down and 10 for the Arizona Cardinals. Shipp hands off to Sanders. I think they may have been thinking double reverse. And down he goes, smothered at about the 26-yard line. Were they thinking double reverse?
Well, they weren't the only ones. The Raiders defense. Wow.
Let's send our reverse now to Jim Nantz in New York. Thank you, Jim. Priest Holmes has the most touchdowns through the air and on the ground combined of any player in the NFL.
A couple offenses in that AFC West reminded the old AFL days in the West Coast.
Yes, sir. Second 18 inside the 27. Plummer with time into the side and almost picked off by James. That's the guy who Plummer was kind of shooting at in the press this week. James was beaten once, and he almost beat Plummer right there.
But in that time, he was working against McAdley. He wasn't working against Sanders. That time, he was lined up at corner on the outside for Chuck Bresnahan, the coordinator of the Raiders. He wasn't lined up in the slot. So you've got to keep the motion going. You got to keep you see, you flip your thumbs up like that. You're saying, give me the, yeah, I like that. But you keep your guys in the slot, get the matchups you want. That's when you go for the big play.
It was on a 3rd and 18. You can see 0 of 2 on 3rd downs today. 27-yard line for Plummer in the gun. Good block by Davis. Down the middle it goes to Shipp. Surrounded by white jerseys. Hit by Romanowski. Knocked by Charles Woodson. Travion Smith got in there. A 13-yard gain, but a good 5 yards shy of the first, and the Cardinals have got to punt again.
There's nothing wrong with what the Cardinals just did, and Jake Plummer in this offense knows it. No, they're going to the sideline. They've gotten first downs. They set up their team where they can pin the Raiders back, and they made the best out of a bad situation being backed up like that. A real positive possession for the Cardinals after a scoring possession.
Tim Brown back to retrieve the punt. He's inside the Raider 20. Scott Player out of Florida State. Took him many times to find a team that would take a chance on him. About half the league tried him out. Finally, he lands here with the Cardinals. High-hanging punt. And it will be fair caught by Brown back at the 16-yard line. And Player lets go of 44-yard boots here at Sun Devil Stadium. We've got a timeout. Defense held the Raiders last time to a punt. Do they have another one of those in them?
Well, it's really up to the Raiders' offense. The Raiders' offense has made some decisions, and through the blitz of the Cardinals has helped somewhat. But I think Rich Gannon in this offense is just a little bit sputtering right now after that last possession.
16-yard line after the punt. First down and 10. Brown is on the move, and Gannon right to work. And down the middle by Jerry Porter. He's got a touchdown reception in his pocket today. And finally, Adrian Wilson shoves him out of bounds near the 42 on a 26-yard catch and run.
A nice job by the offensive line of the Oakland Raiders setting up Rich Gannon so that he can throw the ball to the guy that Charlie Garner referred to as a young lion. His mane's just coming out. Jerry Porter, young receiver in his 3rd year, gets to work with Jerry Rice and Tim Brown and have these guys rubbed off on this kid.
What great teachers.
Oh, man.
First and 10, 42-yard line. Porter's got 39 catches this year and 2 today. End around to Jerry Porter again. One-on-one with McKinnon, and then drilled by David Barrett with a gain of a yard up to about the 43-yard line. Game-breaking NFL news, exclusive analysis, team power rankings. It's all there for you at cbs.sportsline.com or in America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline.
There's Mark Trestman, the offensive coordinator you don't hear much about for the Oakland Raiders. He and Bill Callahan have the same sort of duo thing going that John Gruden and Bill Callahan had before Gruden left for Tampa. The credit of this offense should go to those two coaches.
Second down, long 9 inside the 43. Might be switching the play. Here comes Woods, and there goes the pass. Caught by tight end Roland Williams, tumbling to the 38-yard line. He gets a Raider first down, as Williams shows you. 19-yard pickup. And the Raiders move the chains once again.
This is all about the offensive line. You know, Lincoln Kennedy, Barrett Robbins in the center. I mean, this line doing an excellent job. We talked about how Arizona is not one of the better teams rushing the quarterback. In fact, they have less sacks than anybody else in the league. But this offensive line, especially the big guy, 72 at right tackle, is doing an excellent job.
38 of the Cardinals, gaining 9 of 14 with the touchdown pass to Porter. First down and 10. Gannon, right on the money by Jerry Rice. Second reception today, quick slant, and he's inside the Cardinal 30 to the 27-yard line, and a first down and a pickup of 11.
That's funny. I'm sorry. First.
You played with him for 5 years.
It says prolific resume. Yeah, why not straight to Canton? The heck with the 5-year waiting period. Jerry Rice ought to go straight out of the Raiders locker room to Canton for his induction.
Number 1 all-time in all-purpose yards from scrimmage. He's done it all. 40 years old. He turned 40 a couple weeks ago. It's first and 10 from the 27. And Tyrone Wheatley breaking a couple tackles. It usually takes more than one to bring him down. He's hit by Thompson. He's close to a first down. A gain of about 9 on the play, and he's near the 17.
Kevin, we talked in the last commercial that we thought this was the most important possession for the Arizona Cardinals. Stop them here, find a way. Well, what you're finding out is kind of the heart of this Oakland Raider football team and the heart of this Oakland Raider offense. Richie getting a nice block, Lincoln Kennedy at right tackle getting a nice block, Tim Brown at wide receiver getting a nice block, and Wheatley really giving you the power part of the Raider offensive running game.
What did you think was the biggest mismatch today between
Tank down there right below empty or above empty?
That's not good. Second down inches. Wheatley in the backfield outside the 17. It's Wheatley diving for a first down under the grasp of Ronald McKinnon. Picks up 3 to the 15. They'll move the chains again with the first down.
Yeah, and believing some of the hype about how good this offense is. It is that good, but you don't want to start believing.
Garner back in, 7th play of the drive, first and 10 inside the 15. Rice is on the move. So is Gannon. To the end zone, and caught for a touchdown for the second time today, Jerry Porter.
Anybody want to tell me how valuable a quarterback that can move is? Watch this. Rich Gannon comes out, throws it from somewhere just above his elbow on a rope to Jerry Porter for his second touchdown of the day, 8th touchdown of the year.
Janikowski's extra point. 21-7, the Oakland Raiders.
And you can trace the lineage of what's going on in this football game right back to number 12, Rich Gannon. He's putting on a clinic.
The beat starts. Engage the success of a quarterback and the chemistry he has with his coach, in this case Gannon with Trestman.
Trestman and Bill Callahan. We talked about that marriage together, how they put this offense together, revamped it. You know, Mark Trestman's the one that's responsible for all this high-tech passing. Bill Callahan more the meat and potatoes side of the offense, I think. But Trestman's really brought to the table this wide-open, empty backfield where, you know, honestly, guys like Mouse Davis and June Jones have to laugh themselves silly watching offenses like the Raiders now, because 5 years ago, they were fools for running the run and shoot, or 6, 7 years ago. But now everybody's running these wide open offenses.
They're a ball to watch. Janikowski's and kickoff, and Kevin Casper about 3 yards deep, and he'll leave it in the end zone. Rich Gannon came in today #1 in attempts, completions, and yards in the NFL, and over 3,000 yards passing, faster than any quarterback in NFL history through 10 games.
We told you about that earlier, about the yardage, and you heard Dan Marino in the pregame show today. Jim Nantz kind of drilled him a little bit about how about Rich Gannon breaking your record. And Dan can look a little hurt. Then he says, well, you know, Jim, he's the ball every down. He doesn't have a running game. I'm sitting in my hotel room, sitting here in Arizona going, oh, wait a minute, you didn't have a running game either. Why do you think you threw for all those yards?
Gannon coming off a 4 of 4 series on that touchdown pass, ending up to Jerry Porter. Touchback to the 21st and 10 for the Cardinals. Marcel Shipp was a block by Bush. And a tackle coming from the secondary, and Derek Gibson after a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7, and Beasley Reese, what do you have?
Well, you know, I watched practice on Friday, and watching Jake Plummer throw the ball, he was laughing, bouncing around. He was throwing a lot of zip. In this game, all but a couple of passes, he's trying to throw darts. He's trying to be more careful. When things are going bad, sometimes you just be too perfect. He needs to let it go. They're doing a little bit better, but he's got to let these passes go.
Well, you can't be good by trying to be perfect. I know it doesn't make sense out there, but
23-yard line, 2nd down 7. Shipp got away from Sam Adams, then is drilled by Travion Smith after a gain of a yard. How do you like these Raider linebackers, in particular Eric Barton, who's out there with Smith?
I think he has been really the highlight linebacker-wise for this team this year. Everybody wants to talk about Bill Romanowski, and Barton's the first guy to credit Ro by saying, hey, you know, he's done a lot for me. He's shown me how to be a linebacker off the field, how to take care of my body. But this guy has made so many huge plays. He's the speed factor. He's the factor linebacker for the Oakland Raiders.
The anti-Kirk. 3rd down and 7, 23. And here comes Plummer across the middle. It's caught by Arnold Jackson, who is snuffed and put down by Terrence Shaw. After a gain of 4 up to the 27, 3 yards shy of a 1st down, and Jake Plummer and his offense have got to give the ball back.
And there's a good example that, you know, the Oakland Raiders, a football team that for years was known as the man-to-man sort of kings of this league. Chuck Bresnahan had a little zone working, was giving them the soft stuff underneath. It would be short of the 1st down. Good execution by the Raiders defense.
Scott Player to punt. Charles Woodson is back. Flags all over the field. And Woodson from the 22. And being chased and brought down. The long snapper.
I told you, I mean, every time we do a Raider game, it's like the 4th of July parade at my country club.
They're all up at one time.
Flags everywhere.
The long snapper, Hodel, makes the stop.
I like that snapper part. You said center earlier. On the field,
I take
but
my
you
cue
snap
from you.
the ball.
Had a great talk with Bill Callahan last night about weighing the age of his team late in the season with regard to how much practice time they put in. You want fresher, younger legs in there. How do you balance the two?
12 men on the defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
And what did he say?
Well, that's a big one there, getting that 1st down against you. Another example of Callahan's Raiders making a mental error. But Callahan, you know, he talked about how he's gotten practice. Gary Rice, and they work harder than any 3 guys in the NFL you could come together with, no matter what their age is.
And they stay alive. There's a pass to McAdley. And the rookie out of Alabama, who played not only football, but also was a very important ingredient on the track team at the University of Alabama, comes up with a gain of about 9, close to a 1st down at the Cardinal 41.
You see that pad on his right bicep.
Yes.
And it's sort of a sleeve on the backside, but on the front it looks like a hard pad, almost like a soccer shin guard to protect that bicep muscle.
2nd down 1, 41-yard line. Marcel Shipp, huge hole, and it's a foot race with Woodson. And Shipp with another big gain. He is closing in on 100 yards. He picks up 39 yards right there. And for the day, 122. And there have not been many 100-yard rushers for the Cardinals over the last couple of years.
Quickest point between 2 ways. If you're a running back, follow your center. He'll show you where the line is. Backside, Dishman, onside, and see you later. Bye from Marcel Ship.
How big was that
mistake?
Damian Anderson in the backfield now taking the place of the winded Marcel Ship. First and 10. Dropped by Freddie Jones. Incomplete. They immediately away and completed about the 16-yard line. So second down and 10. So a very
We're getting close to that in this half, and they're ahead by 2 touchdowns.
Anderson remains in the game. Second down and 10 at the 20. Damian Anderson, his 24th carry of the year. Drilled by Rod Coleman, who's in there, along with Derek Gibson. How would you characterize a Dave McGinnis team? Are they tough? Are they a finesse team, talented? How do you look at it?
Well, I think the Cardinal team that he thought he was coming into the season would be very, very talented and very tough. Now they're tough, but not talented.
Up the Nextel halftime report. Jim, Dion, Dan, and Boomer have scores and highlights. Nextel halftime from New York is next. The Cardinals on the move. A special teams penalty when the Cardinals were kept the Cardinal offense on the field, and they respond with a long run by Ship to put him in deep Oakland territory.
This is about Jake Plummer's decision making.
Inside the 17, third down and 6 for Plummer. Fires a pass and it's caught. Arnold Jackson slides in between Woodson along with Gibson. On 3rd and 6, they pick up 10, and they are at the Raiders 6, first and goal.
This play is a good example of the tease that is the talent of Jake Plummer. For the bad decisions he made earlier, you've seen him making some wonderful, well-timed decisions. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. I mean, he hits that back step, and the ball is out to his receiver. Excellent technique, excellent progression, and a very nice decision.
Arizona takes a started at 20 with 5:31 left. 9th play of the drive coming up. First and goal at the 6. Marcel Ship is back in the game. And Plummer with time. Look out, here comes Romanowski in the pass. Well, he got a hand on it. The leaping Frank Sanders was draped with Raider defenders. Back there primarily Terrence Shaw. It'll be second down and goal. What does Plummer do well in situations like this?
Well, I think it's back to the decision-making process. And, you know, Terrence Shaw got away with a heck of a hold and a grab right on Frank Sanders because, you know, no mystery who Jake Plummer wants to go to. He wants to go to Sanders. Only one catch right now still from Sanders. That one big play.
Plummer 6 of 13. He's thrown an interception. Second down and goal at the 6. Ship in the backfield. Fake to Ship, buying Plummer time, and throws out of the end zone.
Oh, that was a big mistake. Flag on the field. I want to tell you, Freddie Jones, Jake Plummer's tight end, was wide open all by himself. Illegal receiver downfield. Oh, my God. Near him.
Third down and goal at the 6. Ship in the backfield, and Plummer to the air. And caught by his tight end Bush, who tried to lunge. The ball was batted free at the 1, and they pulled him dead about the 1.5. Where now it'll be 4th down and goal, and the Raiders are going to take a timeout with about 1:11 to play.
Well, you know, it's protection, and it's about decisions. Everywhere he wanted to go, pass was not available. The last place he wanted to go with it was to Steve Bush, and Steve Bush treated that ball like a big physical tight end will, and big Sam Adams right there over Dishman. The most physical side of their defense is right there.
4th down and goal inside the 2. The fake to Ship and the pass. Makovica, he should be in for the touchdown, and is. Joel Makovica, who caught a touchdown pass last week in Philadelphia, catches his 2nd in as many weeks. The Cardinals are back in business. And special teams against the Raiders with Grammatica's extra point, because that penalty on the Raiders special teams gave the Cardinals new life, and sure enough they capitalized on that.
And it was a
Grammatica will kick off, and deep at Marcus Knight inside the 5, and he is at the 4. Knight brought down by the backup fullback McKinley. A 26-yard return. A flag is on. You have called the Raiders. What do you mean by that?
Well, like Bill Callahan said, a setup game. You've got a big game last week and a big game the next week. And
holding 39 during the return. 10-yard penalty. Go for some.
You get half. Let's see what Rich Gannon's got first down and 10 from the 16.
103 is plenty of time for Rich Gannon.
He's got one timeout. Gannon across the middle, caught by Tim Brown. And Brown gets 9 on the play. And for Brown, first catch of the afternoon.
And Thursday's Thanksgiving. People love turkeys on Thanksgiving. Rich Gannon can carve up a defense like a turkey in a 2-minute drill like this.
Very good. Second down and 1. Second consecutive pass caught by Tim Brown. He's got the first down, and he's to the 31-yard line of the Raiders.
And right now, Rich chunks right now, trying to get the Cardinal defense up to set up a big play.
He's got some good trimmings, too. 31-yard line, first and 10. Gannon. This time he goes long, and it ricochets off the fingertips of Jerry Rice. That's incomplete. It was,
especially to his quarterback, Rich Gannon.
Well, you're watching one of the best 2-minute offenses in the NFL. Second down and 10, 31-yard line. Dump it off, screen pass, caught by Garner. A block ahead by Barrett Robbins, and you can see the block as well by Frank Middleton. We think enough yardage for a first down. Let's see where they spot him. He's at the 41-yard line.
This drill, a 2-minute drill on how to end a game and how to end a half.
On the 41, it's a first down, and here comes Gannon. Great time in the pocket. Slings it to the side, caught by Jerry Porter. Field, a yard shy of a first down, picks up 9, the clock down to 19 seconds, and again the Raiders operating with no timeouts. You're right, he is. He's just carving them up.
The carcass is losing meat. This offense took advantage of the defense of the Raiders and the special teams, but Gannon has been sharp.
Second down, 1 from midfield. Gannon again with time down the middle. He's got Jerry Rice on a dive at the 23.
They got to get on the ball.
Clock continues to tick. Raiders can only stop it with a spike. They're going to bring out their field goal unit.
They're not going to do it. Too many guys on the field.
Oh, boy. Flags all over the field. The Raiders have got to be furious.
Half's over.
2 seconds left on the clock.
Well, they had about 17 guys on the football field. They couldn't decide if they were running their field goal team on or keeping their offense on the field.
And the Raiders are trying to frantically get out there, but you can see the confusion.
Well, it's a play at the end of the half.
Ball starts on the offense. The offense never got set. It's a 5-yard penalty. It also includes a 10-second run.
Yeah, half's over.
We're at
That
halftime.
means the half has ended.
And the Raiders give up a pretty good opportunity as they were moving downfield, but much of the chagrin of Rich Gannon, they strolled with just a touchdown lead.
And the clinic was suddenly closed.
Yes.
Suddenly a refund. That was a great job of moving the ball down the field, and suddenly a mental mistake. And that was the first mental mistake on the offensive side of the ball we've seen. A mental mistake.
When Porter had that near midfield, I'm still surprised they didn't do that. And they kept rolling and throwing the passes, and finally to Rice, and it was too late. Here we go, kicking off the second half. Marcus Knight for the Raiders. And Kwame Lassiter brings him down about the 30-yard line on a 30-yard return. San Diego got whipped today down in Miami, so they're 7-4. Raiders a half game back. Denver plays tonight against the Colts. The Chiefs are in Seattle right now.
Yeah, I said it earlier, but I really firmly believe that the field advantage will come out of the AFC West and the AFC. The East is going to keep beating up on each other. The North and the South won't have the records, I think, to compete with who comes out of the West. You look at Oakland and you look at Denver. I think those are the two teams right now going neck and neck for that home field advantage coming out of the West.
That is a heck of a division, though, isn't it? My goodness. All good teams.
Offense and more offense.
Wow. 38-yard line, first and 10, empty backfield. He'll empty it with Garner going in motion.
It's not empty now.
Vanden Bosch.
Vanden Bosch is in it.
Filling the void.
Offside, 90 feet to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Has got to find a way to get the pressure that Dave McGinnis was just talking to Reese about.
Cardinals, the least penalized team in the NFL. Up to the 44, it's a first and 10 handoff, first and 5 handoff, and it goes to Charlie Gardner, who puts his head down and digs his way into Adrian Wilson. It's a gain of 7 yards up to the 50-yard line.
But he also
first down.
digs just about into Cardinals territory.
Yeah.
And as bad as when it was 14-7, as bad as that, and important as that drive was for the Cardinals, this drive for Charlie Garner and the Raiders is just as important. The focus, the clinic we saw earlier, the clinic at halftime until the mental mistake. You've got to get that back against this defense. Don't let them think they've got a chance of stopping it.
50-yard line, 1st and 10. Gannon going outside. Jerry Rice brought down by David Barrett, spinning at the 41, picking up 9 yards on the play. 4 catches and 57 yards for Jerry Rice. The Raiders lost 4 straight games. Now they've won their last 2. How would you characterize what they've done the last 2 weeks?
The one word, we've talked about patience and we've talked a lot of different things. The word you'd have to really go with is efficient. And if you add a couple other words, I think you go with focused. And the more important word might be physical. They're turning into a more physical football team for Trestman's offense.
Take charge personality.
Well, take charge would be Rich Gannon.
Yes. 2nd down, 1 from the 41. Outside, quickly caught by Tim Brown. He's chased on the play by Thompson and brought down after he does pick up a 1st down. A flag has been thrown on the play. They marked the ball at the 38. As you see, the Giants on top of Houston, Green Bay, Tampa Bay before that. And what a win for Chicago. They had lost 8 straight, and they beat Detroit today in overtime.
Any win's a good win for the Bears.
Illegal shift, offense, going from an illegal position to a legal position, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And that was by the receiver on the near side of Bill Callahan's offense. Lined up, you had 2 receivers basically on the line of scrimmage, so you didn't have a legal receiver, and then they tried to move back at the same time.
8 penalties on the Raiders already. 2nd down and 6 at the Cardinal 46. Runner in the backfield. Over the head of Charlie Garner. Incomplete. Vanden Bosch was in the vicinity. 3rd and 6.
A little of that quick pressure. Beasley Reese heard from Dave McGinnis about quick pressure and turnovers and flipping the score. I'll tell you one thing. If Dave McGinnis can get those 2 touchdowns from turnovers that he gave up in the first half, his football team's got a great chance of getting another upset against a favored Oakland Raider team, much like they did last year in Oakland.
Little no huddle here by the Raiders. 3rd down and 6. Gannon with time finds Rice. He's got the 1st down, digging his way to the 38. Brought down on the play by Ray Thompson. And it is a gain of 7-8 yards and a 1st down.
Watch Jerry Rice running, and what he's looking for is a window. First window, no ball. Second window, ball. And the window is behind the defenders. There's slots where the linebackers were. He ran through the first window and looked, no ball. Kept kind of going, looked at the next window, and bang, there's the ball. And that's how Jerry Rice gets a defense to suck up and think short pass. And then Jerry Porter now has become the guy down the field that can hurt a defense deep.
Wheatley in the backfield, 1st and 10 from the Cardinal 38. Here comes the rush. They send Wilson after Gannon. And hit by Tanner, and out of bounds he goes. Incomplete. Lassiter was downfield and covering Jerry Porter, who's caught 2 touchdown passes today from Rich Gannon.
Yeah, one thing of late that has kind of, it's kind of torqued me off a little bit. It's listening to people talk about, you got to have a pocket quarterback. Mark Trestman, you need a pocket quarterback. Because those are the guys that win the championships, those factor quarterbacks. A mobile quarterback has never won a world championship. Well, has anybody heard of 2 guys named Montana and Young? I mean, just get a clue about this. Mobile is better than statue, and will always be better than statue.
2nd and 10, 38 of Arizona. Charlie Garner zigzagging his way. There he pops free. And it looked like he was going to be brought down. He squirts ahead. LeVar Woods gets him. 8-yard gain. It looked like it might be an 8-inch gain.
And there's a good example of what you get in the Charlie Garner package. Because you look at a guy that's not real big. You're saying, Charlie's what, 5'10", about 185 pounds or so, not real huge. He gave you the little guy quick, and now right here he gives you a little bit of the medium to big guy power, bopping things up like that. He's got a lot more power and a lot more oomph behind him than people think.
And a great leader, very emotional player. 3rd down 2. Raiders have passed every 3rd down today from the Cardinal 30. Crockett in the backfield, offering a lot. Gannon throws as he is hit, incomplete. Boy, the great pressure applied by Fred Wakefield, who got Gannon low. And now the question is, are they in field goal range? The longest this year by Janikowski, 47 yards, and looks like Gannon's going to call a play at the line.
He's not going to leave the field. He was going off the field like he was getting ready to give way to Janikowski. Why leave the field, though, when you can get a quick pass to one of your wide receivers or try to get an offsides?
Florida Cardinals. 4th and 2. Gannon with time. Big catch made downfield by Tim Brown, who picks up 12. Raiders convert 4th and 2, and they are at the Cardinal 18.
Tim Brown coming out of the slot. What a nice example of what a receiver is supposed to do on a 4th down play like this. Watch Tim Brown just kind of throttle down. Here he comes. Throttle down, sit. It's a veteran move. Young receivers don't do that. They learn that from old receivers like Tim Brown. 9th play of the drive coming up. 18-yard line, 1st and 10. Garner, a Richie block. He slashes inside and dives to the 12. You know, you were talking before about the Raiders being efficient, kind of a studious team in a lot of ways because of all their age and all their experience. Does this team reflect their quarterback as much as any single team in the NFL? Yeah, I think also their coach. You know, I think, you know, for all the John Gruden, you know, Chucky dolls and faces and all that stuff, might have been a little distraction for this team. I think they're more of a calm, focused team, much like Bill Callahan.
2nd and 5 inside the 13. After converting the 4th and 2 moments ago, Raiders continue to plow into Cardinal territory outside Charlie Garner. And head first into the 2-yard line. He picks up a 1st down, 1st and goal for the Raiders. David Barrett with the tackle. It's a gain of 11 on 2nd down and 5. Now it's 1st and goal. The backfield, Richie ahead of him. 1st and goal at the 2. And Tyrone Wheatley walks into the end zone for a touchdown.
Barry Sims, Matt Stinchcomb, and Doug Jolly just pancaked that side to open up those blocks and watch block here, block here, block here. That whole left side of the Raiders offensive line. Bang by Barrett, down. Wow, that's physical. And that's not physical by the Cardinals. They're looking around, walking around, waiting for somebody else to make the tackle.
Janikowski's extra point. And another 14-point lead. Raiders led earlier 14-0 as Tyrone Wheatley goes in to the end zone for the first time this year. His first touchdown. And it's 28-14, the Oakland Raiders. I think you just used the word efficient in the last series.
That's the 7th score on the opening kick of a second half for the Oakland Raiders. 4 touchdowns now and 3 field goals, and capped off by Tyrone Wheatley in his 2-yard run.
Former 1,000-yard gainer 2 years ago, and the ensuing kickoff by Sebastian Janikowski. Kevin Casper at the goal line. They'll dance in and out of the shadow. And brought down on the play by the newest Oakland Raider, a kid named Tim Johnson, linebacker signed off the practice squad. We've got a timeout. Raiders today have had 4 possessions in the red zone, 4 touchdowns, 28-14 over Arizona.
That guy in the middle. Right there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's stay upwind is all I got to tell you. that looks pretty bad.
From the 22, 1st and 10. Marcel Shipp in the backfield, over 100 yards today on the ground. And dancing his way into the grasp of Rod Woodson and Eric Barton. Travion Smith, gain of 3 up to the 25. 2nd down and 7.
And this is exactly what Jake Plummer and his offense have to do, because it doesn't take a real rocket scientist to sit here and watch this game, see what Rich Gannon and this offense is doing for the Oakland Raiders, to know that Shipp running the ball for the 125 yards on 13 carries. You got to keep that thing going, keep that ship floating.
2nd down and 7. I like that one. On the 25. Shipp, push with the block. Out of the reach of Lawrence Grant and thrust down by Barton. And a gain of 3. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 4. He's brought down at the 27 as we send you to New York. And Jim Nantz. Thank you, Jim. Corin Robinson, one of the emerging stars among wide receivers in the AFC.
And there's the explosion factor. Eventually, even a bad team's going to explode on somebody.
27, 3rd and 4. Plummer through the hands of Sanders. Almost picked off on the deflection by Barton. And the Cardinals have got a punt.
It's not often on one play you can see a ball touch 4 hands.
But it did.
And you're going to see it again. I mean, Barton has a chance at it. Sanders has a chance at it. They both get both hands. You got one there. You got one there. You got one there. Actually, I was wrong. Barton had 3 chances at it. Sanders only had 1 hand.
Tim Brown is deep back, waiting the punt from Scott Player.
Once you hit 40, aren't you supposed to give that job up, returning punts?
You should. But he doesn't. 15 years in the NFL. He wants to return it from the 26. Brought down by Kevin Casper, who just joined this team. 12-yard return, 47-yard punt. Romanowski and the defense do their job. Now they give it back to Rich Gannon. 1-2 straight coming into today. The Cardinals have lost 4 in a row.
Raider fans have done for Halloween what Hallmark did for St. Valentine's Day.
from the 6, 1st and 10. Gannon, good block by Carter. Batted down at the line of scrimmage. I think maybe Russell Davis got his big paw. He did. 2nd down and 10. This week on the Late Show, Dave's all-new show with Everybody Loves Raymond's
Stupid pet tricks, wild animals.
He brings on some of the weirdest looking animals you've ever seen. 2nd down and 10. Dumps it off to Jerry Porter. Blocked by Barrett Robbins. Blocked by Jerry Rice. And pushed out of bounds by Adrian Wilson at about the 47. 12-yard pickup. Porter, well, you said something in the first half. Learning under Rice. Learning under Brown. What incredible teachers for this bright young receiver, Jerry Porter.
Well, the smart thing for him, too, is to learn who to follow. And in this case, he's going to follow Barrett Robbins, his center, coming out from his center position. See, he kind of brushes back, and suddenly you're out on a screen. Green Bay runs great screens because their linemen know how to get out in front. The Oakland Raiders aren't quite as good because their linemen are so big and don't run well.
1st and 10 from the 47 of Oakland. They go up the middle, and a tackle made by McKinnon on Charlie Garner. And he's into Arizona territory at the 47.
But that whole focus of the line, talking about not being, really fast and quick, it's a trade-off. Every team has to decide. Dave McGinnis and the Cardinals have decided they want a great big offensive line. The Raiders have always had a big physical offensive line, and the teams that run the screen pass the best are the teams that have the smaller linemen that can get out there and run in the team.
2nd down, long 5 inside the 49. We'll call it the 48. Switching the play is quarterback Rich Gannon.
Look out for Gannon.
Found something he liked, and there it is. Rice 1-on-1 with David Barrett, gain of 9. Just like that, he throws the dart there to the 40 and a 1st down.
When I watch Rich Gannon play quarterback right now, it's almost like watching a man walk around a fruit tree. And eventually he comes to a nice piece of ripe fruit that's right at eye level. He reaches out and he grabs it. And that play there right there to Jerry Rice was just a nice big piece of ripe fruit that Rich Gannon calls the audible and just kind of plucks it right off the tree.
Jerry Rice. 3 Super Bowl. 1st and 10 from the 40. Pitch out to Garner. There's a block by Roland Williams, the tight end, and finally brought down by Dwayne Starks. We talk about the age of Rice. He's 40. Rich Gannon is 37 this December. Has a quarterback that age ever done the things he is doing right now?
Consistently? You could look at Cunningham's year with Minnesota like we talked about. You could look at some of the years that other quarterbacks have had, but you don't ever see what you're seeing right here is production, efficiency, go up as you get older. I mean, experience is one thing, but actually throwing better, that usually doesn't happen to anybody.
Wheatley in the backfield, 2nd down and 8 from the 38. The bearing down on Gannon, he just throws another dart, caught by Wheatley. Out of bounds by LeVar Woods.
And going back to Gannon again real quick as he's once again carving this turkey up, it is, there's some similarities to think about here between the quarterbacks we're watching today. When Rich Gannon first came in, the system makes the players, and this system has made Rich Gannon just unbeatable.
3rd and 7, 37-yard line. No huddle for Gannon. He looks to his second option, going deep. He's got Rice. Touchdown!
And when you're a coach, Kevin, and you opt for the big offensive line that can pass block like this for Rich Gannon, by Jerry Rice, the time to get down the field, if you don't pressure Rich Gannon, you don't have a shot. And when you're heading down the field, there's Jerry Rice, left side of your screen there, just runs, just go long. Raises his arm, and that's not real complicated, but it needs time. And he had all the time he needed because the offensive line did a great job.
Janikowski's extra point. 37-yard strike to 40-year-old Jerry Rice. Has there ever been a greater player in the NFL?
Nope.
This month only, you'll find great deals on home entertainment products only at Radio Shack.
Shaking her head about Jerry Rice, who just notched his 202nd career touchdown. It's a combination of runs and passes. His 72nd career 100-yard game.
There are entire organizations that haven't had 200 touchdowns in a decade.
He is something. The kick by Sebastian Janikowski. Kevin Casper at the 5-yard line, signed and passing the physical last night. Getting a nice block by Bush. It's a foot race with Williams. There is a flag. In fact, 2 flags down. Back inside the 40-yard line.
From both directions.
Yes.
One came from behind, one came from the front. I think that they saw the same thing.
Well, a 56-yard return could get wiped out, and it will.
I'll tell you, returning the kick is the one thing you don't need to practice to do.
Turn number 53. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Their special teams don't get penalized that often.
Michael Young, the linebacker, guilty of that hold.
Tough day for Dave McGinnis. Great day for the Raiders. Here today with their fans.
And, he doesn't keep that mask on the whole time because he's holding a half-empty beer. He's raised that thing at some time in the last few minutes.
Open sesame. 12-yard line, 1st and 10. Jake Plummer's got to throw, and that's exactly what he does. Going outside for Jason McKinley, a rookie out of Alabama. Spins his way for a first down. 12-yard pickup at the 26-yard line.
Kevin, you hear that old thing, martial arts? He can take your heart out and then show it to you before you know you're dead. That describes Rich Gannon playing quarterback. And talk about a guy that can be patched. Is he excited? No, he's just doing what he's hired to do. I mean, dang it, why get excited? You're supposed to do this.
He expects to. You're right.
It's amazing. Like I said, this is a clinic.
Near the 25, 1st and 10, Marcel Schiff. Nice tackle side by Travian Smith on a gain of 1. 2nd down and 9.
It's one thing that's really been impressive between Eric Barton and Tavian Smith and Romanowski. We've seen some excellent tackling by the Raider linebackers today when they've gotten their chances.
You were telling us last night that the Raider defensive playbook is almost as thick as the offensive playbook.
I find that hard to believe.
Wow.
But they have every imaginable front in Chuck Bresnahan's defense.
2nd down, 9 from 25. Plummer hit by Trace Armstrong as he throws it outside.
And Trace Armstrong's the one that told us about that. But and Trace would be a great guy to talk about. He's president of the Players Association, just a real smart guy. But this staff has been together forever. For all the John Gruden baloney this offseason, people forget. They just made Bill Callahan the head coach because he deserves it for one thing, but this is basically the same staff. It's been together for a lot of years.
How does Armstrong pick apart an offensive line when he attacks it?
Well, normally it's very slowly, methodically. Now he's got Leonard Davis, 75. We should take a look at that matchup because 75 is a mountain. You just don't run around him.
2nd down, 9. They get 3rd down and 9 at the 25. And delay a game. Or movement, excuse me, on that line.
Prior to the snap, ball starts. 67, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That is a news story.
It's a news. Plummer with the throw, almost picked off, incomplete.
Bill Romanowski had that ball right through his thumbs. When you put your hands up like that, just if you're sitting at home, put your hands up in front of you like that, you see that, the old Diamond Dallas Page, the diamond you have there in your hands. Well, the ball went right through the diamond for Bill Romanowski, right through the thumbs.
Throws in a triple coverage play as well. Scott Players had a busy day. 5th punt of the afternoon coming up for him. Tim Brown is deep back. rush, and the punt sails. Flag is down. Brown fair catches the punt at the 43. 37.
Holding. 33 on the receiving team while the kick was in the air. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
Fumbled kickoff. Garner in the backfield. He's got 79 yards on the ground and 11 carries. Rice is on the move. Garner, a block by Middleton. And a race with the stiff arm into David Barrett's Arizona defense. Out of bounds at about the 39. A gain of 6 on the play. That's a big body to be moving outside, but Middleton pulled right with his running back.
Well, yeah, it's momentum. Because when Middleton gets going, and there's a lot to get going,
it's downhill.
It's no matter which direction, if it's uphill or downhill, he's moving downhill speed-wise. And look, think of yourself as a corner. You're a 190-pound corner. You're looking at a guy that's probably about 350, 360, going as fast as he can, headed right for you.
Second down, 4th at 39. Garner again, a block by John Ritchie. And Adrian Wilson falls on the stumbling Charlie Garner. Thompson was there as well. Ray Thompson. There's Ritchie, who has not carried the ball all season long, but is a devastating blocker and a terrific presence in the locker room.
He's a little guard.
Yeah.
Francis, because he's kind of the anti-Stanford guy. You know, he looks like he should have come out of that Ted Kaczynski's, Unabomber cabin somewhere. He got the beard and the weird-looking thing.
Down and 4. First down strike. Caught by Gardner, and there he goes. Down the sideline, a race with Dwayne Starks, who gets him from behind. Charlie Garner may be as good a receiving running back as you will find in the NFL, galloping 42 yards there for a first down.
And one thing you have to remember with the Raiders is what you see isn't always what they're then going to do to you. You saw a fake reverse. You saw a lead block by Ritchie. You saw a run by Garner, and then bang, they flip it out to Garner, and he goes 30, 40 yards down the field. Mark Trestman and Bill Callahan have got as versified an offense as we've seen in the NFL in years.
You're still in Baltimore?
A big piece of him wishes he had that money and he was still in Baltimore.
19-yard line, 1st and 10, Tyrone Wheatley. Hit low by Russell Davis on a gain of 5. To the 14.
There's a good example. Jerry Rice.
And a 300-yard gain for Rich Gannon, the 8th of the season. Second down, 5 on the 14. Flag is down. Gannon to the end zone. Caught for a touchdown. Tim Brown, but a flag is down.
That was thrown right at the snap. If it wasn't motion, it might have been Arizona lining up offsides.
Brown has not caught a touchdown pass, and it goes for naught. But just to finish that off, Brown has not caught a touchdown pass in 7 weeks.
Offside, number 84, offense. Lined up in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
That was Jerry Porter, who's got a couple touchdown passes himself today.
Well, the football masters Rice and Brown haven't taught young Porter everything. We have to get around to that lining up onside part.
10.
It's almost like playing a video game. It's almost like he's sitting on a couch, just picking a defense apart with a video game. 2nd
and 10. A shovel pass. That's incomplete. That's incomplete to Wheatley. Boy, the first thing you want to say is, fumble, but it was forward. It's an incomplete pass. Now
is on 3rd down. Coming into this game, 30 of his 31 catches on 3rd down. 30 of his 31 last catches were on 3rd down were for first downs.
19-yard line, 3rd down and 10. Gannon going deep to the end zone and intended for Rice. Broken up beautifully by Dwayne Starks.
Relevant to his style of play. It's irrelevant to his body.
Janikowski from 37 yards away, the Leckler hold. And the Raiders tack on 3 more. 38-14 Oakland. Raiders on their way to their 3rd consecutive win, moving to 7-4, and that would tie them with the San Diego Chargers and maybe Denver, who plays tonight against Indianapolis. Saturday.
Unrealistic. I think it's wonderful.
I know that's not what they're putting you in there. Here's Janikowski. And Kevin Prosper from the 1-yard line for the Arizona Cardinals. And he got a nice block ahead from Bush. And out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. 35-yard punt. Our kickoff returned by Kevin Casper. Wednesday. Dominant third quarter by the Oakland Raiders, as you see. Jake Plummer has thrown a pick. He's turned it over twice from the 35, 1st and 10. Down the middle he goes to Marcel Shipp, one of the few bright spots for the Cardinals today. Hit by Sam Anderson, steamrolled at the 42.
Jones, who has a first-round pick, has been pretty much a bust.
That's the last play of the third quarter. They've been booing Jake Plummer today here in Tempe. Oakland on top. 3 Gannon touchdown pass. A touchdown run by Wheatley. Also one by Garner, and a field goal by Janikowski adds up to a 38-14 Raider lead as we go to the fourth quarter here at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. Second down and long, 3 for Jake Plummer and the Cardinals outside the 41. And Plummer throws outside, drops by tight end Freddie Jones. Second drop for Jones today. In the East, the Miami Dolphins win their second consecutive game at home. They beat Baltimore last week. They took care of San Diego today. The Jets won again. They're suddenly hot. New England won today over Buffalo.
And next up for the Jets are the Oakland Raiders.
I'm sorry, the Jets beat Buffalo. Yeah, now the Jets have a trip across the country, and they'll take on the Raiders.
Personally, I'm still not real convinced and sold on the Miami Dolphins. They can hold up for a whole year, because they haven't in the last 10.
Third down, long, 3. Plummer right on the money, but broken up beautifully on the play by Charles Woodson, who dives in front of McAndley, and the Cardinals have got a punt. And here is the AFC North.
So yeah, that tie that Pittsburgh and Atlanta had a couple of weeks ago is going to come back to haunt a lot of football teams trying to make the playoffs. We haven't seen one of those in a lot of years, and it's going to be a huge factor.
Player to punt. Tim Brown lets it drop inside the 10. Great Cardinal bounce. Down to the 3, and Kobe Reinhardt downs it there. 55-yard punt. Raiders leave it 38-14 on the Arizona Cardinals. 14:40 to play. Great day for Rich Gannon. 3 touchdown passes. And from his 3, 1st and 10. Outside, Charlie Garner drops it. Second down and 10. You don't see that very often. Tennessee lost today against Baltimore. Colts play tonight in Denver.
And we'll be in New York next week for that Titans-Giants game. And this AFC South is going to be another one of the 9-7 kind of feel to it by the time this whole thing is done with. Yeah, because Indy is not bad on offense. It's been a little erratic with Peyton Manning and company, but defense is where they've had the most improvement lately.
Second down and 10 from the 3. Sims with the block, buys time for Gannon, who throws a little bit short to John Ritchie, and then hit by Ray Thompson. Brought down at about, they call it incomplete? No, they call it a completed pass. Gain of 4 to the 7. Good spot. It looked like they're going back in the end zone to huddle again. Anyway, it is a completed pass, although it was caught very, very low. And the West in the AFC.
I think if you had to pick one team you should be careful of, in spite of the 440 offensive yards this offense for Oakland has through a little more than 3 quarters, Denver would be the team I'd watch in the West.
On the 7th, 3rd down and 6. Gannon, plenty of time. Goes to Brown, has to get to the 13, and is down at about the 12. About a yard shy of the first. And Oakland will punt for the first time in the second half. They had scored on their 3 previous second half possessions.
Yeah, and there isn't an offense in the NFL right now that coming out at the beginning of the game, going in at the end of the first half, or coming out at the end of the halftime does it better offensively than Oakland. Oakland get that first score and the last score of a half and do something about first possession of a half better than anybody in the game.
Shane Leckler to punt. Arnold Jackson watches it go out of bounds. What is interesting about that miss, Brown not capturing a first down. It's the first time all season on 3rd down that he has not gotten a first down. Nonetheless, the Raiders rolling on the Cardinals.
Don't do commercials.
For Arizona, encounter this afternoon from the 46, 1st and 10. Marcel Shipp in the backfield, taking the place of the injured Thomas Jones, who broke his hand at his home on Friday. That's caught by Frank Sanders, brought down by Eric Barton, spun at the 38-yard line, about a flag thrown at the end of that play, about 2 yards shy of the first down on the game. And against the Oakland Raiders.
Personal foul, face mask, number 50, defense, 15 yards, the end of the run, down.
With their numbers showing.
With the first down at the Raider 23, Jake Plummer with 3 receivers deployed. Plummer hit and brought down by Sam Adams. That's the first sack by the Raiders today, and the first sack in 6 games by Adams.
But Jake Plummer has to feel like he just got hit by an avalanche with feet. I mean, you're getting ready to step up into the pocket to see what was going on, and suddenly 95 just steamrolls him. I mean, he's like look at that. That's just kind of like those speed bumps in the supermarket lot. Just bump, bump.
Big bumps.
What was that? That was Jake.
2nd down and 20. 33-yard line. Loss. Plummer this time across the middle. It's caught by Freddie Jones. Brought down by Romanowski at the 27-yard line. Gain of 10 on the play. The NFC East. Philly at 7-3. Lions at 6-4, and they are losing right now in Houston to the
very valuable player. But Andy Reid is a heck of a football coach. He'll find a way to try to make up for some of his contribution.
Plummer on 3rd down and 10, running for his life. Here comes Romanowski. There's the pass, and it's caught. Sanders at the 10, and he's got a first down. A 16-yard pickup on 3rd and 10.
That's that matchup you were talking about earlier.
Aside all that often. 1st and 10 at the 11, but they should because they've had success. Plummer. Again, they can't hold on. Charles Woodson is over there defending. 2nd and 10. This team has lost Marte Jenkins, very effective player, and David Boston. You can just imagine how much more powerful this offense would be with those 2 players alone.
Well, we talked about Frank Sanders. And I mean, you've got a draft pick in McCadley and not a high draft pick, mind you.
And number 5.
And you've got Frank Sanders, and then you've got guys. And Poole may eventually be a wide receiver in this league, and Soliday may be a wide receiver, and Jackson may be a wide receiver, but right now they're guys.
2nd down and 10 from the 11 for Plummer. Out of the pocket, he rolls and fires for a touchdown pass into the end. Arnold Jackson, who got a touchdown last week in Philadelphia, catches one here in the 4th quarter against the Raiders.
Well, Arnold Jackson might be a guy, but he's now a guy with another touchdown. 2 to his credit, and Plummer. Three wide receivers.
Sanders on the move. Shipp in the backfield. Rolling out of the pocket, Plummer, and broken up nicely on the play by Terrence Shaw. So they fail on the 2-point try. But they do get in on Jake Plummer's 2nd touchdown pass this afternoon. This an 11-yard strike to Arnold Jackson. Cardinals haven't died. That's what their coach has said is the best thing about him so far, is they have not quit on him or on themselves.
But the reality of the situation, talent-wise, this is like a middleweight fighting a heavyweight. It's just not the same tools.
Bill Gramatica. Line drive boot. Marcus Knight. Good pickup at the 15-yard line. Hit brought down by Ray Thompson. Flag has been thrown back where the ball was kicked up about the 32-yard line.
Offside on the kicking team, number 53. That penalty is declined. Oakland will take the ball, first down.
That freezing cold weather come playoff time where you've never won.
1st and 10. intended for Rice. Ricochets up on the deflection. The coverage by David Barrett. 2nd down and 10. The NFC South.
Extremely solid. Then you add Michael Vick, and it's a deadly combination.
Or New Orleans at 7-4. 2nd down and 10. Garner blocked by Ritchie. Charlie Garner in the backfield. A flag has been thrown. And Adrian Wilson, among others, there to help make the stop on the elusive Charlie Garner. And against the Raiders.
Holding. 86. Offense. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Tight end Roland Williams tonight on 60 Minutes. While it may surprise, that's tonight on CBS. It's 2nd down and 17. Gannon fires downfield, incomplete, looking for Rice. Entailed by Lassiter. 3rd and 17.
For the Rams, the bad finger meant Bolger couldn't go.
3rd and 17, 22. Dumping it off to Wheatley through his hands and incomplete. As a player, did you find it hard to concentrate when you had a sizable lead going to the 4th quarter?
Well, you know, if you're Bill Callahan, this is something to build on. I mean, and he's not happy. And he shouldn't be happy because his offense is sloppy. Keep performing. Keep focusing. Keep getting the offense down efficiently down the field, and don't let up, because the last 2 possessions are let up.
A lot of time left, too, as Leckler gets ready to send this downfield. And a flag has been thrown as LeVar Woods got under Leckler. It was 4th and a mile. 4th and about 17. Penalty is on the Cardinals.
That's running in. That's not running into the kicker. Not roughing the kicker. That's running into the kicker.
Right.
It's not an automatic 1st down.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Number 56.
Whoa.
Defense. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
He just sailed under him, trying to avoid him.
Roughing? Bill Carollo is our referee. He's been calling this game a long time. Come underneath. I guess it's that plant leg when he comes down, makes contact, that institutes. That's not roughing. I'm sorry. That's running into the kicker. That ought to be 5 yards and a re-kick. That wasn't even a good acting job.
Slid right under him. 1st and 10. Charlie Garner. Great block by Charlie. Rookie tight end. That opens up a gain of 7 up to the 47-yard line.
Tell you, Barry Sims and Matt Stimchko have had some very big blocks at times this year, and Jolly added to the mess on the left side, just caving that whole thing down on that one.
So Garner picks up 7, setting up 2nd down and 3. Garner 95 yards on the ground today.
And Lincoln Kennedy and his offensive line wanted to make a point of getting a game like this where they could run the ball and feel good and get their chance. Now's when you run it.
44-yard line. And submarining up to the 49, and a gain of 5 again is Charlie Garner. And he's got the 1st down. You still have not seen any resignation in the play of the Cardinals today.
Yeah, they're not a team that's going to lay down. And that's because of Dave McGinnis and the kind of coach he is. I mean, they've kind of brought a penknife to a gunfight today. They haven't had quite the weaponry they need to stay with the Raiders, but they're not going to quit.
Gannon on 1st and 10. Little play action. And chased by Dennis Johnson, among others, along with Marcus Bell. He goes out of bounds, scrambling to the 44, picking up about 6 yards on the play.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see some people that are of the opinion that mobile quarterbacks aren't what you want in the NFL, as Michael Vick does more and more in this league. How important that position and that ability is. You know, his cousin Aaron Brooks in New Orleans is another quarterback that can really buy time with his feet, but there's not a better one doing it for the whole package right now than Rich Gannon here in Oakland.
The Giants just went up on Houston late in the game in Texas. 2nd down 4. Look at Tyrone Wheatley burst down to the 32. Great acceleration, 13-yard romp, and another 1st down for the Raiders. Doing it exactly the way they want to. Running the ball, eating up the clock, and flexing their muscle every step of the way.
Well, this is what they want to do at this point of the game, and also at this point of the season. We mentioned it earlier in the game. You've got to get this type of running going. Not only the Garner run, but the power of Wheatley. And Arizona has allowed right now a season-high 481 yards to this Raider offense.
33-yard line, 1st and 10. Gannon going deep down the middle, intercepted by Kwame Lassiter. Lassiter picks off his 2nd pass of the season. Gannon throws his 2nd interception in the last month. It's his 9th of the year. But he has thrown 3 touchdowns today. The Cardinals stop Oakland. Cardinal quarterback Jake Plummer has had 20 career comebacks. Does he have a 21st in his pocket today?
Yeah, Rich Gannon for the Oakland Raiders, though, on the other side from Plummer. We'll get a chance to watch him try to make a comeback, but Gannon is so detached. I mean, he's unemotional. Jake's a fiery quarterback. Rich almost seems unconcerned.
On the 7 after the Lassiter interception, here comes Plummer being decked once, hit twice, and brought down. Ron Coleman was there, among others. That is the 2nd sack on him. Tonight it's all tonight here on CBS, America's most watched network. 2nd down, 14 with the sack, back at the 3. Marcel Shipp held on to by Coleman, runs into Rod Woodson, then torn down at the 10-yard line. Gain of 7. This kid has been very impressive, the most decorated player in the history of the football program at UMass.
Big plays on the ground just have not come in the 2nd half.
3rd down and 7 from the 10. And Plummer standing in the pocket. Ball was deflected, and it goes incomplete. The Cardinals will have to punt, and we'll punt our way up to New York and Jim Nantz. Jim, what's your read on Seattle and Mike Holmgren?
Well, I know Sean Alexander, he either gets 6 yards or 160 yards. There's no in between with this guy.
Fair caught back at the 37-yard line by Tim Brown. Is Mike Holmgren in trouble, you think?
Maybe with all his roles. I think Paul Allen is very convinced up there that Mike's the coach he needs. I'm not sure if he doesn't need a little bit of help personnel-wise, because their personnel is lacking, especially their decisions.
He took most of that on CBS. Gannon and the Raider offense take over on the 38, 1st and 10. Pitch out to Tyrone Wheatley. Running by McKinnon. Banged by Dwayne Starks and knocked out of bounds at about the 44.
486 right now. Total offense for Rich Gannon in this offense for Oakland.
Marcus Knight is in motion, 44-yard line, 2nd down and 4. Pitch out to Wheatley. Barry Sims tried to throw a block and a loss in the play of about a yard.
That last play by Kwame Lassiter, that interception, was a great play by Lassiter, almost baiting Rich Gannon.
43-yard line, 3rd down and 5. Wheatley in the backfield, and everybody moved early. Gannon is a no-nonsense guy. There may not be another quarterback
5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Who studies as much as Rich Gannon. Is, not a rah-rah guy as we have just seen right there. He is truly a leader by his display of studying during the week, of his emotions on the field during a game. His leadership is how he acts, not what he says.
Well, part of his strength is his experiences, not his experience. You learn, human beings don't learn by positive reinforcement, usually by negative reinforcement and bad things. A lot of bad things have happened to Rich, but he's learned from them, and it's what really makes him the quarterback he is.
3rd down and 10 from the 38. And Gannon strolls back in the pocket. Look at the time he's got to throw. Here comes Wakefield with the late hit, incomplete. Looking for Wheatley on the side. Let's send it back to New York in our studios and Jim Nantz. Touchdown passes mid-season at San Diego. People thought he would emerge, but he has been staying off in the shadows, but does catch one today in Seattle. And so now the punt by the Raiders out of bounds at about, they're still marking it off on the sideline, the 28-yard line. That's where Jake Plummer And the Arizona Cardinals will take over. You know,
we've seen them work with not much defense, but a great offense. None of those really fit the Seattle Seahawks. They don't have a strength. What are they strong at? They're strong at Mike Holmgren's reputation. Ted Thompson in the front office does a good job personnel. I mean, that's their strength is probably not on the football field. They need to get the strength more where it matters.
Deflected pass caught on the ricochet by tight end Freddie Jones up to the 29. Gain of about a yard. 2nd down and 9.
And it doesn't help that Seattle kind of stepped into the mess that is the NFC West now.
Yes.
Arizona found out about the NFC West this year, having to go against the Niners and the Rams, and they go down the list. The Simeon Rice and down. They've had a lot of failed draft choices who were consensus good players that haven't worked out in the NFL.
Freddie Jones on 2nd 9 gets the pass for a gain of 2 to the 31.
But you know, it's here in St. Louis and has speed to be a deadly combination.
3rd and 7 for the 31. Jake Plummer wanted to go deep, and he's got his receiver McGantley downfield, and he overthrows him, incomplete. Cardinals have got a punt. Would you re-sign and pick up your option on the quarterback Jake Plummer?
Well, it depends on what you want to do. I made a comment the other day in the papers here in Arizona that if you want to go cheap and put the money somewhere else, it's not a bad idea. I mean, you need it in other places. But I will guarantee you one thing. If Jake Plummer is not back with Arizona, he's playing with somebody. And that's somebody he's going to play with. The odds are he's going to be winning with that football team because he's a winning quarterback.
Clear to punt again. Tim Brown back, and he'll signal for and be allotted a fair catch back at the 27. 42-yard punt with 3:30 play.
Leave him in there. Let him hand off the ball.
Oh, I'd bring in the other kid. I'd bring in Marcus.
You want to get his letter, huh? Little silver and black jacket.
Yeah. It's Wheatley on 1st and 10 for a gain of 2 to the 30. Back in the mid-80s and into the early 90s. Graham's got Wheatley in the backfield. He gets the pitch out. Looks like the University of Michigan. Great block by Jerry Porter. And down the sideline goes Tyrone Wheatley. Another wide receiver block opens the door. And he is knocked out of bounds at the Cardinal 34, a pickup of 36 yards. Let's go back to our studios in New York and Jim Nance.
On the road, Tampa Bay a winner here. Let's go back to where Oakland's winning out there in Arizona.
Thank you, Jim. Could you see that? Callahan against Gruden. Would that be something else?
Tampa still doesn't get the money or the draft picks back.
Right. 1st and 10. Nice defensive play by Ray Thompson, tripping up Tyrone Wheatley. Now they are 9-2.
Right.
Their offense still isn't prolific the way it was predicted to be, but good enough to win and good enough to beat Green Bay.
They're all about defense.
So now, how do you survey the landscape of the NFC with teams like San Francisco and now Atlanta and Green Bay, and let's put Tampa Bay in there at 9-2. They got the best record in the NFC.
Yeah, it's you know, they've been in this position before where they're sort of looking like they're just strutting down the street, getting ready to go to the playoffs. It's can they keep this whole thing going? And you know, they whistle and get up in the air, and somebody comes along and puts one on their chin.
2nd and 13 at the 37. Wheatley stopping on a dime, then wrapped up by Fred Wakefield and brought down. Loss of about 2 back to the 39. Well, what is? Here's a good question for you. I'm asking about every question I can think of right now. What is the better conference, AFC or NFC?
Well, NFC's got the better records, but I think the AFC has the better football teams. You know, regardless of the 9-2, and the 8-3s, and the 7-3s, and whatnot on the other side, I think the best football in the National Football League is played in the AFC right now. And the records would indicate that, but I think you have to look a little closely and see that these teams in the East and the teams in the West and in the AFC side are spending more time beating up each other than beating up other people in this league. Al Davis got him. You know, this team is going to stay right where it is because they'll keep mixing the youth with the older players, which has been a great formula for a lot of years here in Oakland.
3rd and 15. We again and from behind, brought down by Marcus Bell. It's a gain of 6. Well, they knew something. Davis knew something that maybe the rest of us didn't know, is that there was a good backup in Callahan to take the place of Gruden.
Any smart executive or owner always plans for the future, and Al did.
Raiders have totaled 524 yards on offense today. They lead at 38-20. Gannon's got 3 touchdown passes. Janikowski is lining up for his second field goal attempt. He knocked his first through from 37. This will be 51. This would be a season long.
1 step. Check out the run up. He's changed this.
From 3 steps to 1.
Yep. He's got enough leg. He's going for accuracy and consistency.
Wow, that would have been good from 61 yards. But he knocks it in from 51. And second today by Sebastian Janikowski. That is a season long for him.
This football team, Kevin, is whipping out weapons everywhere. When you think about what this team can do to you, you almost forget about Janikowski and the leg that he has and what he can do for Bill Callahan and how far out he can score from.
How about just his kickoffs alone? The fact that he can
touchbacks?
Yes. The
touchbacks, yeah. That's invaluable. I mean, that's we talk about the hidden yardage factor. There's no hidden yardage when you're doing that. That just you're starting on the 20.
Every time. He leads the NFL in touchbacks. He had 16 coming into today, and I think he's had 1 today. So he's got 17. Tonight on CBS, right after this game, shortening up your back, swinging golf on us. Line drive picked up on a bounce by Banks, the backup tight end. And he vacuums it in and then plows ahead to the 40-yard line. Mike Banks, a rookie out of Iowa. 18-yard return. Cardinals have 1 timeout. 1:48 to play. Jake Plummer will go back on out there and see what he can accomplish over the next minute 48.
This is pure flinging it time for the Arizona Cardinals. The key for the offensive line, protect your quarterback. The last thing you want now on this offense or on this football team is another injury.
Plummer on 1st and 10. Here comes the rush by Coleman, throwing outside, incomplete, looking for his tight end, Freddie Jones. All right, we told you that Green Bay loses to Tampa Bay. Houston now is up with 67 seconds remaining on the New York Giants. Seattle, what a high-scoring, fun game that must have been. 39-32 over the Kansas City Chiefs.
And Miami spanked San Diego earlier today. I want to go back to that Houston Giant game. You got to be kidding me.
2nd down and 10 from the 40. Plummer comes out of a congested pocket, chased by Ron Coleman. Throws on the fly and intercepted. And by Torrey James, the guy that Plummer criticized in the press earlier this week, comes back to pick him off. And Plummer has thrown his 2nd interception and the 3rd Arizona turnover this afternoon.
With 1:35, I think Rich Gannon or whoever comes quarterback here for the Raiders just going to church. They're just kneeling down.
It's Gannon. They'll be kneeling.
They won't let Tuiasosopo get his letter.
I don't know why.
I guys can't understand that.
Gruden drafted this kid, and they liked him when they got him out of.
Oh, he's a winner, and he's a son of an old teammate of mine. Yes. I played with Manu.
Yep.
Tuiasosopo, defensive tackle for the UCLA Bruins, and played for the Niners and the Seahawks. But this kid, Marcus Tuiasosopo, is a first-class winning quarterback who's going to get to learn behind one of the best.
Absolutely. One last stop in New York in our studios with Jim Nantz.
All right, guys, you got to check this into the game and takes on Mike Sherman. Let's listen in. Among other things, telling Sherman to put a jersey on. He pushed a staff member from Green Bay on the way out, too. Let's go back to you.
What a way to finish in Tampa Bay.
There's a test waiting to happen there.
Wow.
I think they should have hid the coffee pot from Orrin. He seems a little bit too geeked.
What is the league doing something like that? What should they do in something like that?
It shouldn't be tolerated. Period.
The executive producers of the NFL on CBS, Sean McManus and Tony Petitti, coordinating director Larry Cavallina. Today's game produced by Bob Deacus, our good friend. Thank you for a terrific season. And directed by Bob Lanning. Great shots today, Bob. Thank you. The senior producer of the NFL Today, Eric Mann. Directed by Bob Matina. The coordinating producer of CBS Sports, Harold Bryant. Associate Director of today's game, Fred Johnson. Broadcast Associate Jason Headings. Technical Manager Rick Godwin. Special thanks to our statisticians Pat McGrath and Gary Brown.
And Fred Johnson, proud father.
That's right. Terrific little 9-pound, 3-ounce baby girl. Oakland goes to 7-4. Cardinals drop to 4-7.